Well, a new law in California limits how prosecutors can use rap lyrics as evidence during trials.
National correspondent James Packard spoke to several people within the hip-hop community about why this new law is a step in the right direction.
California prosecutors will no longer be able to use musical artists' lyrics in criminal trials against them unless they meet specific parameters, a change with huge implications for racial equity.
As artists, we have the right creatively and maybe even the duty to color our stories to make it more appealing and entertaining.
It's important to artists like Todd Thomas, better known as Speech, the rapper and member of the hip-hop group Arrested Development.
I have a song, People Every Day, where I express beating up a guy, and it takes 3 or 4 cops to pull me off of him, right? I don't want to be in court one day and someone tried to imply by me having that lyric that I'm a violent person.
The change comes against the backdrop of a case in Atlanta where rapper Young Thug is accused of gang activity and possessing various drugs with intent to distribute them. Prosecutors used some of his lyrics as probable cause to charge him with a crime.
There's something back in the day, something from his life that he pulls from to make these current hits. That doesn't mean he's still doing it now.
Mouse Jones is an influential voice in media and a popular hip-hop podcaster. To him, California's move is a good step, but it's not necessarily a hopeful one.
And James Baldwin said to be conscious and live in America is to be in a state of anger at all times, right? As a black man. That's just really what I feel like. It's like, you know, no matter what happens, you're kind of left to think about it from a, so what standpoint.
To Speech, it's not just about decriminalizing artistic expression. This should also be a conversation, he says, about de-emphasizing lyrics about crime in hip-hop music.
The industries and corporations magnify these artists far more than they do the plethora of other artists that exist within hip-hop that are not talking about these things.
Researchers have estimated about 500 cases over the last 30 years have used rap lyrics against their artists on trial. Eric Nielsen is one of the researchers who published that figure.
It really does reside in a centuries-long tradition of law enforcement institutions of power in the United States, suppressing and then often punishing black artistic expression.
He wrote a whole book on this called Rap on Trial. In an interview this June, he told The Y it's racism that lends to the tendency to assume crimes described in hip-hop are more real than, say, Johnny Cash describing shooting a man in Reno.
People have a difficult time believing, well, first, that rap music is music, but I think more to the point that these young men are capable of producing complex and sophisticated art. And so it's much easier for people to imagine that they're just chronicling their everyday activities.
The new California law requires judges to weigh whether lyrics are directly related to the specific crime on trial, a litmus test often not applied to white artists.
What other genre of music has constantly been on trial one way or another since its inception?
Let these human beings' art be just that. Let it be art.
James Packard, Newsy, Los Angeles.